Hi, Randy. All right, folks, we're back here. Hopefully, this will match up here, and we'll be rocking and rolling here for the second half. And we're doing some technical challenges here to see if all this works. But if you missed the first half or parts of it, good. All right. Then we were behind with audio and video, and it sounds like we've got it maybe matched up now. So that's good. So I don't know if we could get Dustin Dietering up here. Yeah, we're going to get the new athletic director up here and give him his first walkthrough and first introduction to Strive. I think we're working right now, Barry, but we've got Dustin hopefully coming. But hey, we had to shut you down pretty quick. Blue Jays could not be any more happy with this first half.
Oh, this was amazing, honestly, Tim. I mean, this is an exciting night at Memorial Stadium. Lots of things going on. I just had a former player stop and say hi to me. I mean, there's lots of former Blue Jay players in the audience tonight, and it's really a special deal.
Oh, I know. We're going to talk more about the alumni night, but let's bring Dustin Dietering in here, who is the new athletic director here at Ashland-Greenwood. And, you know, Barry was talking about alumni night, Dustin, but you take a look out here tonight, your first experience, Friday Night Lights at Ashland-Greenwood. Tell me what hit you here tonight.
I tell you, goosebumps. I had goosebumps earlier just in anticipation of what I was going to see tonight, because I've heard, you know, the people of the community, the excitement that I've heard from people I've talked to at other events, and just kind of what I imagined. This exceeded really my expectations. So to see this crowd out here and just the feeling of community that I feel from this Ashland-Greenwood group of people, it's incredible. And I got goosebumps right now.
Well, I tell you what, it's appropriate for the night. You know, Barry, first Friday night, you know, he's just like a hog. It's a hog heaven, and there's nothing like Friday Night Lights. And listen, you get up here, you look like you could still play a little bit here. You've been pumping some iron. So tell us about what your interest in athletics was and when it started, and way back going back into high school.
Sure is. So football was my initial passion. I loved it all, but my love of football began just as a young pup, you know, before 5, and I was playing in my backyard with my brother, and we'd play one-on-one football in the backyard, just throwing it up, trying to catch it ourselves, tackling each other, and then it just kind of grew from there. And as I progressed, you know, high school football and basketball were the two sports I was involved in, and then I grew up in western Nebraska, central in the Sandhills, and wrestled some calves in the spring, so that's what I did there, but then went to Shattern State, played some football up there. And as I got into education and saw kind of the power, and I know the impact that athletics had on me, it just gave me a way to connect to school, to the academic side of things, give me some motivation to perform in the classroom as well. And so just seeing the power that athletics had, that's kind of what really prompted me to enter into education and then end up in the role that I'm in today as an athletic director. So.
Well, we're so fortunate to have you. You were at Thomas Jefferson over there in Iowa before coming here to Ashland-Greenwood. Obviously, there was something that talked to you about this job. What was it? What were you looking at?
So Ashland, the community, the town itself has always been a draw. And when I got hired in Council Bluffs, my wife and we had even considered moving to Ashland to kind of split my commute down, because we live in Lincoln, so I commuted back and forth. And so it's always been on my radar. And just coming from a small town in rural Nebraska myself, there's just something about this sense of community that you feel in a community this size. And so it's always been a goal of mine, career-wise, to end up back in a community this size. And so when the position opened up, we had a friend that had texted us, said the AD job's going to be open, and I jumped on it right away, threw my name in the hat, and gave it my all, and was fortunate enough to land here. So
yeah, well, again, this is going to be a lot of fun. I know you're enjoying it not only tonight, but talk about some of the things you've got planned this first year. I know you're kind of getting your bearings underneath you, but what are some of the goals that you have in this first year at Ashland-Greenwood?
Sure. So first year is really just kind of learn the community, the culture that we have here. Something that really excites me, and it was also a big draw coming here, is I know the growth that we're experiencing with the people that are moving to the area, and our class sizes are getting bigger. And so I've got a lot of big school experience, and so I feel like my knowledge on that side of things will help us transition as we become a bit larger of a school. And as we grow in size, that's going to incorporate and provide a few more opportunities activity-wise with some new sports that might come into the fold. And so having that experience and been in that setting, I think I'll be a nice bridge to that transition. A big goal of mine, too, is with the new middle school being built and that competition gym and bringing some kind of video boards into play and trying to build a bridge with some advertising possibilities and stuff too with the community, and really just making this a community effort when we grow this program.
Yeah, I tell you what, there are going to be obviously some changes coming up. There's so much excitement about that. Talk about the good part of that change as we grow, and then talk about some of the obvious challenges that could come up as well.
And so with growth is always, because you kind of are used to the status quo and used to what has been, and there's been so much success here and just a lot of pride, and sometimes that growth can be a bit scary, and that's one of those challenges because you don't want to lose the identity of what has made Ashland-Greenwood. And so I think it's important to hold on to that core as we continue to grow, keep our values the same. But with that growth, we're going to bring just really a larger footprint that we're going to be noticed more on the state level, especially with athletics and stuff and how we compete and the talent levels that we have. And so we're going to just draw more of that state attention. And that's something that's really exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, and some of the challenges that we might bump into as well.
Yep. Yeah, and so I would say some of that challenge is just when you're staffing and bringing in a new culture, and again, is to not lose what has made us who we are. And so holding on to that core values, and when making quality hires, and I think that the people that are going to be interested, they're going to want to come and work here. They're going to want to come and be a part of our school and teach our kids. And so I think it's important to maintain and know what our core values are and hold on to those and look for people who represent that culture.
All right, so you've had a chance here. You played some football at Chadron State. You had a chance to watch this first half. Tell me your thoughts on this football game as it unfolds in front of us here.
Something I was really hoping for is, after our scrimmage and seeing our kids out there, was that we would come out strong and consistent. So to put together a drive like we did on that opening drive that was just methodical, just down the field. It wasn't just a big play score. It was methodical. And that shows me that our kids are focused and locked in because they're doing the right assignments. They're making the right reads because they're doing it play after play after play and stringing together a multi-minute drive, multi-play drive. And so it was great to see it start. And I really think that set the tone for our team. They got into that routine, that flow early, got that pick on that second possession, and now we got that confidence, and we know that we kind of have this team where we want them right now.
I've got to ask you, what'd you play at Chadron State? I'm thinking linebacker,
tight end.
Tight end.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
So you and Wallman have got something in common. You know
there
that.
we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Has he dropped the fact that he was an All-American at
He
Hastings?
did not.
Yeah,
He did
yeah.
not.
Little All-American at
Impressive.
Hastings.
Impressive.
So
I'll
yeah.
have
So
to-
now he's over there. He doesn't want to hear that. But bottom line is, I mean, you've played at the highest level. I have to imagine when you see these two programs tonight, I mean, Ashland-Greenwood, but also Columbus-Lakeview coming off the state championship. I have to imagine when you look at it, one thing that stands out to you is the culture that both of these programs have.
Yes.
And it really has to be there, doesn't it,
Yes,
for success?
yes. And
Talk
that's-
about that.
And that's something, and I saw it, firsthand with our school, our program at our scrimmage when we had the junior Jays out there, and our high school kids were kind of officiating. They were playing their flag football game kind of at that intermediate, that halftime portion of the scrimmage. And so seeing that connection of our high school kids serving as leaders to our youth is huge in that culture building. And I would imagine Lakeview probably has something similar where you're not constantly looking to rebuild a team. You're just reloading because you're growing that talent from that elementary level up, and those kids are dreaming about playing on this field when they're in third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, and that passion is growing. So then they put in that work once they start hitting the weight room, and you can tell with our kids, that's something that really has stood out with me is our kids have put some time in the weight room. There's some big kids, and they're put together, and they look like young men out there, and they're ready to play. So.
Yeah, we've got some size up front,
Yes.
don't we? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be a fun year, and I don't think people understand just how many hours, once the school year starts, that an athletic director is. You're coming to football, you're going to the volleyball, you're going to softball. So what's been your overall impression of when you look at all of the sports and the entire program in the fall? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yep. It's been great, and I have to, again, speak back to just the community. And so traveling to softball just last night down there in Pickerel and just seeing the fan following we had there. And so I tell you, that for me, that's huge because I've been in some schools where you look up in the stands and there's nobody there. So there's nobody there supporting the kids, and that carries a lot of weight with me when I see a community get behind our young athletes and students that are out there competing on the field, whether it's on the stage, anything like that, because that carries a lot of weight with them. They look up here, they see us out up here supporting them, and so that gives a lot of power. And so as I've been at all the events to see the support that our young ones have from the people of the community just is profound. Yep, it's awesome.
Well, I'm telling you, we feel very fortunate to have you.
Thank
so
you.
welcome, and listen, I know you got some work to do, so I'm going to cut you loose. And you're dropping a little bit of sweat tonight,
I'm
too,
a
huh?
sweater. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Get some Gatorade and rehydrate here for this second
Absolutely,
half.
we'll
Dustin, hey, again, great to have you. Looking forward to having you back here in the booth sometime soon. So.
Awesome. Yep, sounds great. Anytime. I love being here. This is awesome. So.
You bet. All right. Dustin
thank
Dieter,
you.
folks, our new athletic director, joining us tonight as he will hand it back off to Barry Kittrell. But, Barry, I'll tell you, that was a good hire right there. Yeah. He gets it. He knows what it's about. And we're in good hands with that athletic director.
We are, and you're right. He is got some biceps on him. That guy looks the part, and so no one's going to give him any flack.
Yeah.
But no, he really is. He's I've been able to talk to him a couple times, and just very impressed. Even just the way he is working around the stadium here, he is tireless. And so he had a. He did, even though he didn't get to work with him, I saw a former athletic director, Randy Weiss, right outside the door here. So that was another one that we just saw, that tireless work ethic all the time.
And Matt Flynn, who
yeah.
stepped into it for 1 year last year. We've just had some great leaders, and without a doubt, it's continuing. So, Barry, and talk about, you just started talking a little bit about alumni as we get ready to start the third quarter here in a few minutes. Blue Jays up 21-0 against Columbus Lakeview, and some stats roll in. And then we're going to talk, too, a little bit about a big night here tonight as Coach Thompson invited all the former football players back. But before we get into that, Barry, what do those stats look like?
So these are more individual stats, it looks like here, Tim. So it looks like for Ashland-Greenwood, let's see, Dane is six completions, 39 yards through the air. And then it looks like receiving, Thomas Spears has 3 catches for 32 yards. And he is leading the charge there. And then running the football, Zimmerman has 72 yards. Can that be right? 72 yards on 3 carries.
Yes.
And then Upton has 66 yards on 15 carries. And once again, I want to give Upton a lot of credit there. He was a workhorse going down the field, and those two are a good tandem working together. They kind of keep the defense off balance. Okay, so totals for team. We were 21 of 145 on the ground in the first half. We were 7 of 9 through the air for 90 yards, 235 total. Lakeview, 11 for 36 on the ground, 2 of 5 through the air. For 4 yards, they had 40 total yards, 235 to 40. That's a little bit of the tail of the scoreboard.
Boy, that is some dominating numbers. And so here's the kick by Alexander as Columbus Lakeview will let it roll out of bounds. So that will be a penalty, of course, and Lakeview should move upfield after that ball goes out of bounds. And so the Vikings trying to right the ship here as they're down 21-0. And a couple of shout-outs. Dave Hubert is watching from Ireland tonight.
Wow.
He and Stacy over there watching the Huskers, or will be watching the Huskers. And, folks, I know we had some technical difficulties. We're hoping here in the second half we've got them ironed out as Jordan Wallman has been working his tail off to get these all figured out. And Aiden Rowley has been working extremely hard tonight, too. So we're in good hands, Barry.
We are in great hands, Tim, and ultimately with the broadcast, we're in your hands. So it's good.
Well, it's that's a rocky ship right there. So the Vikings trying to, like I said, prevent this ship from rocking much more as they're down 21-0, and a pistol set here for Slope, the senior quarterback, and play fake. He's going to swing it out, and it is incomplete. That was the pass they were trying with 3 minutes to go, 2.5 to go there in the second quarter, and incomplete. It's kind of a high percentage pass, but just led him a little too far.
And I like the play call. I mean, you see our defensive outside linebackers sagging back a little bit, and they're going to try to attack that corner. I like the play call. Just wasn't able to be completed.
So 2nd and 10, Slope will send his talented running back Turnus out to that slot position on the left side. He's got 4 receivers. Turnus goes in motion, and they're going to give to Turnus on the sweep, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage by Ham, and he'll be finished off in there as a bunch of Blue Jays came up to make the stop. So we're going to call it 3rd down, and let's call it 12, and there was Logan Sabota that also finished off that tackle.
Yeah, Jackson Ham and Sabota both read that really well from their linebacker spots and just flowed to the ball very, very well. Good job by the senior tandem.
There it is. And let me tell you, the senior tandem wants to come up big here on this third down conversion opportunity for Lakeview, as they will send Bohr out to the far sideline. And they've got one other. Here's the shotgun snap and two-step drop. Slope is pressured from the outside. He will not get away as the Blue Jays get him. Ham finished him off. Getting also in there was, looks like Leighton West. And so here comes a 4th and long. And Lakeview will go 3 and out to start this third quarter.
They're just really struggling on trying to cover that outside linebacker blitz from the wide side of the field. They just aren't able to count for it yet, Tim. So I would guess that's going to be a big adjustment for them as they try to take on Carey to get him out of that play.
Upton will stand at his 35-yard line as Bohr will punt it away. Another very high snap, and he tracks it down. Line drive boot away from Upton, goes over his head, over the head catch there by Upton. And he fumbles for the 3rd time tonight, and Lakeview fell on it at the 40-yard line. So Nate Upton just having a little bit of trouble holding on to the football, which sometimes happens in those season openers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nate will get that taken care of. That's not going to be a problem. He had a great full year last year, did a nice job. So, once again, can't think about those things too much. It's just on to the next play.
And it was Will Rada who fell on the football at the 40-yard line. And so Lakeview gets their 2nd fumble of the night against the Blue Jays. Blue Jays have fumbled 3 times. They've recovered 2. And here's a 1st and 10 in Blue Jay territory. Best opportunity for the Vikings all evening. 4-man front for the Blue Jays, but they bring everyone up, and they're going to hand the ball off, and it's going to go for a very short gain. Jackson Ham was on top, but let's see who got him. Braxton Buck is the first to make contact. It's a short gain, 2nd down and 9, Barry.
And once again, our defensive line is just really playing tough right now. We've got looks like a new player in 53 there, Tim, on the defensive line. Looks like Jaden Wilsey.
There we go.
The junior.
And, boy, he had a great scrimmage last Friday night. And here on 2nd and 9, bubble screen, and this time it goes off the helmet of Turnus and incomplete, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9. And that time Slope really swung it out there quickly, but Turnus just not able to haul it in.
And I tell you, it was a little dangerous because there was an opening over there. So thankfully he wasn't able to haul it in because he had a little bit of running room.
So here comes the big 3rd down here, 3rd down and 9. Lakeview at the Blue Jay 39. After recovering that fumble, they're going to send Halverson to the near sideline. And that is Bohr to the far sideline. Turnus in that H-back or slot position here off the right side of the line. Here's the snap to Slope. Kai Carey giving pressure. Coming through, there's Lambert throwing deep. They've got a man down there, incomplete at the 2-yard line. A beautiful ball was thrown, and he got behind Austin Cote, and that is from Arik, the intended receiver. Here comes the 4th down and 9.
Yeah, the quarterback, give him a lot of credit there. He was facing tremendous pressure from our defensive front, and he threw a bomb spiral and was just off the fingertips of the receiver.
What about Luke Lambert there? I mean to tell you, that was like running in Pompeii there when the Bulls come down there. He was after him.
Yeah, he was. He was relentless.
D2 offer to Wayne State. He'll be playing football up there. And here's Bohr's punt on 4th down and 9. Thomas Spears is going to let it hit at the 18. Goes inside the 10. It is touchdown at the 1-yard line. So a couple of big plays on special teams in that punting unit for Columbus Lakeview. First they get the turnover, then they touch it down at the 1.
Well, I see my buddy and former teammate Jim Fiala down here, so I've kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
It's just, man, it's so good to see all these former players. I can't emphasize it enough, Timmy.
What a night you guys are going to have here after the football game, and they're going to mark it down at the 1-yard line. Blue Jays backed up as far as you can get with 9:36 to go here in the first half, as Dane Jacobson will have Upton behind him. He'll set that D-line. Lambert, the tackle on the left side. Buck next to him at guard. Ham, the center. Here's the snap. Play fake. Dane wants to swing it out. It's complete to Spears at the 5. Thomas is hit at the 6. He fumbles, and Lakeview falls on it at the 10-yard line. That is the 3rd turnover of the night for the Big Blue.
And we talked about that a little bit, Tim. We didn't really bring it out on the air, but the one thing we talked about before the game is we really need to take care of the football. So that's something that the Blue Jays, really the only thing that's really happened that you can point to and say, that's a little bit, of a challenge right now.
And it was Brendan Slope who fell on the ball. But, yeah, if there's one thing tonight the coach won't be happy with, even though his team's up 21-0, are those 3 fumbles in this game. So here we go. They mark it down at the 10-yard line. And Slope will work out of the shotgun. Turnus to his left, and it's going to be direct snap to Turnus, who's hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down immediately and no gain. A little trickery that time that didn't fool that defensive line. Here comes the 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just a QB follow there real quick, trying to get some yardage against the stiff defense of the Blue Jays.
Bargan is checked in now for Lakeview. Turnus talking to the officials here as we have a 2nd down and 9. This is 2nd down and goal to go. It was inside the 10, so he got about a half a yard. Turnus will be off to the left of Slope. Blue Jays with 1, 2, 3 down linemen, but the linebackers come up. Direct snap here again to Turnus, and nothing doing. He's hit at the line, and now we got a 3rd down and goal from the 9.
And there's an injury there, Tim. Looks like he's down.
Yeah, we've got
unfortunately.
Player down for Lakeview, and they will tend to him. You hate to see this 21-0 the score here, Blue Jays, and Lakeview just knocking on the door here. They'll have a 3rd and goal. Blue Jay defense taking a knee. Barry, it's been a physical game tonight. D-line of the Blue Jays, they've been hitting hard. Turnus, though, wow, he really can dish out some punishment.
Yeah, he can. As you said, he was 160 pounds last year. He's a little bit bigger this year, but he is a tough football player, tough wrestler, and we want the very best for him. Yeah,
I tell you, the storyline with these guys, he and Luke Lambert, and he comes off the field, and I think he's going to be all right. Got hit in a tough spot, I think, so
yeah,
they'll tend to him. But he and Luke Lambert had tremendous battles last year on the mat. Luke, he'll tell you up front, didn't get him, didn't beat Turnus at all, and Luke had a terrific year, was rated in the top 10 most of the year. So that just shows you how tough Landon Turnus is. So here we go on 3rd down and goal from the 9. Shotgun set. Slope will send a man in motion. That's Bargan. And again, direct snap to the running back. They pitch back to Slope. Throws to the corner of the end zone. Underthrown, incomplete. Well covered down there by the Big Blue. They were all over the receivers. And so here comes the 4th and goal from the 9.
Yeah, the coverage there was just phenomenal, and there was really nowhere to throw it. He was hoping he would get it to a high point for his receiver, but we made the play there.
So they are going to bring on Miggy Cullum to try this field goal. It will be a 27-yard attempt by Cullum, soccer style. Here's the snap, and Cullum's kick goes right into the O-line. It's incomplete, and now they're going to rule it dead as Braxton Thunderbuck, he picked it up, and he was going to rumble down the field, but the officials said, nope, it's a dead ball. So with 8:29 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Blue Jays up 21-0. And they have overcome those 3 turnovers so far in this game, Barry.
Well, let me just say, this caught my attention a little bit. I've been getting some texts, so I apologize for not addressing them all. But Jason Nicholson just texted in, someone that knows a little bit about wrestling, and he said Turnus is a beast.
Yeah.
He said he's tough.
You know why I laugh at that? Because Brandy Lambert texted me today, and she said, Turnus is a beast.
Oh, really? Gotcha.
And he is a tough football player. We've seen him tonight. I mean, he has just had some head-on collisions. Yeah, he's not afraid of much, is he?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
One tough cookie out there. And if anyone knows something about wrestling, it's Jason Nicholson. So here we go, 1st down and 10, back at the 20-yard line. Here's the snap. They're going to hand the ball off to Upton. And he will scoot through across the 20 up to the 26. So here comes the 2nd down. Let's call it 4 for the Big Blue.
And once again, Tim, this isn't fancy. This isn't anything that, is necessarily crowd appealing, but it is great football, running the clock, trying to churn yards, getting 4 and 5 a pop. That's beautiful football.
And Kurt Schneider picks up his 3rd tackle of the night. Blue Jays now will send out 4 receivers. You've got Cerveny, you've got West, And Spears to the near sideline as well as Carson. And they're going to play fake, and Dane's going to roll. He stiff arms one defender, now steps away from another, reverses his course. Here comes Dane. He fakes the shuffle pass and is finally knocked down at the 37-yard line. A great run by Dane Jacobson as he used the whole field. Landon Turnus on the stop.
Once again, Jacobson, we kind of talked about how he really does a great job of escaping things in the backfield. Upton had a nice block to help set it up as well. So give those guys credit up front and his backfield as well.
And Julie Mink, our producer, imitated Dane Jacobson holding the football out. She's shaking her head like a disciplining mother right there. You don't do that, Dane. So here we go from the 38-yard line on the left hash. Dane's going to hand to Upton. He's met in the backfield, but he'll bounce out to the 40-yard line. And so here comes the 2nd down and 8.
Well, Timmy, I feel a little more energetic this half. I had a nice Frito pie, and I'm telling you, our booster club can make a Frito pie.
You know what, Barry? You need to start a book, like a traveling book, but it's all about concession stand food.
Oh, my. I could write a book. And so.
Where do you rank that Frito pie? Where's it, top 5?
Well, the only thing I will say is.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Wasn't very big, which is probably good.
Here's a 2nd down and 8. Jacobson, low snap, play fake. Going to fire a little out route. And there's West, and he is belted as soon as he catches it. What a stick put out there. I believe that's Bohr. And I may have that number wrong. No, there's Owen Bargan, another tough wrestler who finished 6th last year, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast at State Wrestling.
Yeah, you could tell Owen was not scared to hit. But Leighton West just popped right up, and that young man has worked awfully hard as well in the weight room, on the track, and is looking prime for a good season.
He's got speed to burn. Here comes a 3rd down and 3 now. Blue Jays at their own 45. Jacobson's going to give to Upton, and Upton uptown across the 40 down to the 39. He just carried 3 or 4 guys with him. And Barry, that reminded me, since you mentioned Jason Nicholson, of a little running back ourselves named Trevor Nicholson. He would just carry guys with him.
Yeah, he would. You know, Upton, I think he just wants to get those, those plays back where he was not able to hold on to the football. You can tell he's running with a lot of passion right now.
And that was Turner Halverson that finally got Nate Upton down. They mark it down at the 39-yard line. We're under 5.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter with the Blue Jays up 21-0. And they're trying to put the final nail in this one on this drive as they will send Drake Zimmerman in motion. Jet sweep. He gets away from one. Now he cuts upfield. There's his speed. He carries a man, and Drake brought out of bounds at the 19-yard line. What a 1-2 punch that this Blue Jay offense is going to have this year with Upton and Zimmerman.
Yeah, they do. Zimmerman did a lot on that play, but I give credit to a couple perimeter blockers there who did a tremendous job of shielding guys to free that up a little bit. So great team effort.
Well, that O-line, it's Lambert, Buck, Ham, Sabota, Harris, and Alberico has been playing a little bit tonight. Here comes Aiden Washburn into the game, and he will hand the play off to Jacobson. He'll work under center. They're going to go traditional I set. Upton the I-back, Washburn the fullback. Here's the snap. They play fake, and rolling out is Dane. He's going to throw to Washburn. It's complete, and he'll carry a man with him himself. Spun down. He'll get some nice yardage near the 1st down marker.
I tell you, Tim, all I could see was that mullet out of his helmet. That was a great catch, a really, really fine throw by Dane, and Aiden did a great job of just turning it up right away after he caught it. Good positive yards.
Well, getting some work there is the junior fullback as he steps off the field, and Coach Thompson gives him a high five. And now back in there is Dane Jacobson, and he's got Upton behind him. He's going to go with a 3-receiver set. Twins to the near. He's going to send Zimmerman in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Now they give it to Upton. What a play call. Upton's going to get 4 or 5, 6 yards, but that is what sets that up, Barry, as Nate Tonjes with a great play call there.
He's very, very calculated. Nate sets plays up very well. He's been play calling, honestly, for about 20 years, and he's done a fabulous job of evolving his offense. Each year, I feel like, Tim, we're seeing new sets, new plays.
That's a very good way to put it. So we've got a 2nd down and goal for the Blue Jays at the Lakeview 5 as Dane steps back. He's going to talk to his coaches. Baranek comes out. Thompson comes out. Jensen comes out. Play clock down to 4. Dane takes the snap. He's going to hand the ball off. This is Upton, starts out, goes back in. He fights towards the goal line, but he is knocked down just short. Here comes a third down and goal.
Well, they're just trying to pound it behind that line once again. And Upton has really changed his style in this second half where he is just getting upfield quickly. And it's got a burst. And that just shows he's in tremendous shape with as many carries as he's had.
Yeah, that is a great analysis right there. And so here comes, I believe that might be Landon Sabota in at fullback. So it's third down and goal from the 1. Here's the snap. They're going to try Aiden Washburn, I think, or is that Landon Sabota? Someone got in the end zone. One of those tough fullbacks got in. And it's now 27-0. Aiden Washburn.
I heard the Washburn name,
look out.
Timbo. That's awesome. Just a nice dive, and Aiden did the rest. He blew up in there like a bull. And so you're going to have to watch out when you're home. He's going to want to still keep running through the kitchen.
Well, I tell you, we're going to have some food tonight. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I tell you, no, that's great to see. You know, we've seen Aiden throughout the entire game coming in on big plays, and that's very well deserved to get a touchdown.
So Aiden Washburn with his first touchdown. He got one last year against Louisville. Here comes Alexander's PAT. It is up, and it is good. And it's now 28-0. But again, I got to tell you, when you to set that play up, you bring in an Upton who's having the kind of night too, and that's what Tonjes has so many options in this offense, doesn't he?
He does, and that's I do want to give a lot of credit. Like you said, the line has been working just tirelessly. Upton, Zimmerman, they're all just taking the load, and then you get Washburn in there and gets one in the end zone. You get obviously Sabota, who's been making some great plays. I mean, it is a true team effort. Spears, I mean, you could go on and on.
I've got to tell you, too, Barry. I've got to tell you, Proud Mama just came in.
Yes.
This band, I feel like I'm at an SEC football game. Did you hear it tonight? I mean, they're doing some things with the music in between with the drums and the craziness. You feel like you're at a college football game here tonight.
The difference is I've got a double muff headset and you've got a single, so I can't hear a thing that the band's doing yet. Sorry.
Oh, I loved it. It sounded absolutely great. Terrific atmosphere here at Memorial Stadium.
It's completely packed.
And that is another great thing about this evening as Alexander gets it up in the air, very high, taking it around the 18-yard line. Up now, this is going to be Tinsky, and he's across the 30 up to the 34-yard line. So it'll bring up a first down and 10, Lakeview at their own 34. With 2:47 to go, third quarter, Blue Jays up 28-0. And that was Keldon Van Landingham.
Well, Timmy, I just to add to that, I mean, honestly, there are fans on both banks, completely packed on both sides from Columbus, Lakeview, Ashland-Greenwood. This is great to see on a beautiful night down at our stadium. Not very many people have left.
Boy, it's turned into a gorgeous night. As Slope gets the snap, he's going to go to Bargan. Look out, he's across the 40 down to the 44. He'll get 9 yards, will the senior, and it's second and short.
So we're getting some substitutions along that defensive line. And so we've got Tobin Engelhardt in there along with Wilsey, and we got Lambert still up front there too.
So on second and short, Engelhardt gets in there tight, but they're going to just follow their center, and they'll have a first and 10, a quick push there. Almost looked like the Blue wasn't quite ready for that quick snap.
Yeah, it was a quick snap, and they got it off before we were set. So good play call by Lakeview.
And Tobin Engelhardt, I also thought, had a good scrimmage last Friday night. And got a little dinged up this week, but he's out there tonight on first down and 10 now from the 47-yard line. Slope, look over that D-line. Cerveny comes up on one side, Carey on the other. Linebackers off about 5 yards for the Blue Jays. Will they try Bargan again? They do. Bargan starts in. There he's out. There shows his speed. He gets 10 yards. Good open field tackle down there by Austin Cote, but a 9-yard carry.
Tell you, Cote's been flying around from that safety position. He gets up the field fast as well, Tim. He's got tremendous speed.
Boy, he does. He absolutely loves to hit, doesn't he?
He looks like he does. Yeah, he's gotten a lot bigger and stronger, I know that.
So on second down and 1 from the 44, we're down to 1:22 to go in the third quarter. As Slope was the man in motion, they're going to give to him, and this is going to be Borer. He tried to hurdle, and he was tackled from behind, but he'll have enough for the first down. There's Englehart, comes up with a stop.
Englehart did a great job playing off the block of the tackle, using those long arms. What is he? Is he 6'7", 6'8"?
I'd say 6'7", 6'8". Doesn't he look like a lineman?
Oh, my. He is just humongous and he's got long arms. And every time I see him, I think I'm shrinking, but I think he's growing. Could be both.
Well, it happens, doesn't it, with age?
Oh.
Even though you look like you're 38, Barry. So
after all those Frito pies.
Play fake. Slope wants to carry it. And the Blue Jays, about 4 of them, meet him at the 40-yard line and push him backwards. And there's Cote in there as well, and Upton.
Well, Timmy, you're kind of progressing along a parallel path in looks to me, so just think what you got to look forward to here in a couple years.
I was just waiting to see what you're going to say, because you know there is no parallel path between you and me.
Well, I tell you, I see you out on long runs sometimes, and I'm amazed.
Oh, 2nd down and 8 from the 39. They will play fake. Slope has time. Now he's pushed out of the pocket by Carey. He's going to try to tuck, but look at Upton close, and he'll bring him down for a loss. And here comes the 4th down and long for the Vikings.
Yeah, I tell you, that is, a big part of our defense. We love to suffocate. We love to blitz. And offenses really struggle with it at times. And that's just part of what we do and part of what Coach Thompson loves to do in scheming all week long for these games.
Well, it's the end of the 3rd quarter here. Barry Blue Jays up comfortably 28-0 against the defending state champs. Here's another thing that we haven't really spent a lot of time on this year, and that's that schedule of the Blue Jays. I mean, they open up with the state champs. They have an incredible rival next week in Wahoo. Great coach in Chad Fox. You know, he'll be so tough. Then they get Aurora, who drops down from Class B, played for a Class B state championship. After that,
we go to Auburn after that,
and they always have talent. You've got Boys Town on the schedule that went to a playoff game. Platteview, man, they started so many freshmen and sophomores over the last 2 years. You know, they're going to be, I mean, this is a tough schedule. And throw in Roncalli for good measure. So how does this schedule play out in your mind as far as how does this help the Blue Jays throughout the season?
Oh, it definitely helps us. And in the last several years. Last year, the last couple of years, we've had some tough teams for sure, and we always have tough teams, but we are playing just a row of tough teams here every single week, and that prepares you, obviously, for deep in the season, deep in the playoffs, and what you really hope is that you can stay healthy and continue to get better each week, but it's very important that we can stay healthy.
By the way, Barry, an update by Brad Carlson, the PA announcer here. Pierce is leading Wahoo 28-7 in that matchup tonight. So here we go on 3rd down and 12 for Lakeview. And it's a quick snap, and Slope is just buried back at the 50. There's Lightning Lambert and Ty Carey. And the sophomore Sabota jumps into Lambert's arms.
Well, I tell you, Lambert's been putting pressure on all night, and that was just an emphatic exclamation right there. He's a really, really good football player. As you said, he got a scholarship to Wayne State. He's going to be going there next year. But we've got a lot of football ahead to be able to watch him here.
Indeed we do. And, boy, he's excited about that opportunity. I know Wayne State's thrilled to get him. So here comes the 4th down and 16. Here's the snap to Borer. Borer getting better with every punt. That's a good one, but it's going to go near the sideline. Hit at the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5. Will it trickle in? Let's see what they say.
Yeah, they got it.
They got it down at the 1-inch line. That's about as close as you can get. There is no doubt about it. Here's the stats for you, Barry, from Kayla Lonnie.
All right. Thank you, Kayla and Steve. Right now, it looks like on offense, the Blue Jays ran the ball 8 times, 65 yards in the 3rd quarter, 3 of 3 passing for 10. We had 75 yards. And then Lakeview, they were 11 carries for 21 yards. They didn't complete a pass in 4 attempts, so they had 21 yards. So they have 61 yards right now, and it looks like we have over 300. So that really is the tale right now of this game.
All right, let's see if Dane Jacobson will stay in a quarterback up 28-0, and he is. And back at the inch line. That'd be a tough spot to put your second string quarterback back inside the 1. So Dane takes the snap. He's going to pitch. This is Drake Zimmerman just using speed to try to get to the edge, trying to get out of that end zone. Now, there might be a fumble, and it might have been recovered in the end zone. It was, and a touchdown for Columbus Lakeview. The Blue Jays with butterfingers tonight. That's the 5th fumble and the 4th lost.
Yeah, I tell you, and it's never good. You got some guys pretty gingerly out there. It looks like we're cramping a little bit, Tim, which is – that's something we haven't had all game long, but there's definitely a cramp, looks like, in Zimmerman. So fortunately, and hopefully that's what it is.
It not only Drake, but we also have someone in the back. That's Ty Carey, who also cramped up. And so on one play, we've got 2 players who have those calf cramps. And, boy, they are brutal, aren't they? They feel tough.
They are tough, yeah. And, normally you'll see them towards the end of the game like this. And so the Blue Jays – once again, these guys have been battling. It's not 95 degrees, but it's humid tonight, and so it's tough. The liquid's just flowing out of their bodies.
And obviously, I don't know if we've got it on camera, but I will tell you there are about 4 guys down, and they're all cramping. It's all a cramp. They're all stretching those calves out.
I'm feeling like I'm starting to cramp here, Tim. And I'm just kind of standing funny. That wasn't that funny.
No. Well, I was. You know me. I was kind of working. There we go. We got it, fellas. I was working back here. Oh, maybe we don't have it. So here we go.
Yeah.
They're going to get them all up, and
they get a good ovation, which they should. These guys have been working hard tonight.
Right. So, man, there are a lot of guys limping around with those cramps right now, and. So and Barry, you know this. I mean, you're in the fitness space. The hydration really has to start on Monday for a Friday game, or even before that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've had players in the past, like Andy Mink, take a mustard bottle on the sidelines. I know some of my boys would just drink pickle juice, just anything you could to get hydrated. And it's a real thing.
Well, Cullum will have another kick blocked. And so the Blue Jays have blocked 2, 1 field goal and 1 extra point opportunity. And that might have been Luke Lambert.
That was Luke. Yeah, nice job by Luke Lambert, who just made a big play on defense, and now he gets a block. But, you've got Buck and Lambert and Ham and all those guys in there. I don't want to miss anybody. But a lot of great senior leaders out there that are playing very well tonight.
Boy, you know this, Barry, and you've always talked to me about this, that senior leadership, how important it is for a team to have a good season. And you've got, Sabota and Buck, they were named captains. You've got Lambert, who's just such a great competitor. I mean, I know you told me before we went on air you really like what you see out of these seniors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They are they just feel like they're very unified. They've worked hard together. When they were in middle school, they weren't overly successful as a group, but they have just stuck together. They really truly love each other. They work hard, and they are good football players.
Well, they are. They are. Well said. And I'll tell you, I look at a guy like Luke Lambert, who's just gotten better and better and better with work and conditioning and lifting, and he is an animal right now. And so Cullum put the ball down on the tee as if they would be trying an onside kick. Now he wants to move it, so he has a little bit better angle. He's got 6 guys down here on the near side of the field, 4 on the other. And he's coming this way. Got a good hop. Fielded by Upton, and he is absolutely hammered. That's the one thing you really expose yourself, and guess who? There's Landon Tarnas on the hit, but he held on.
Yeah, Nate just stayed up. A lot of times they'll take a knee, they'll get down quickly, and Nate was just ready to take on the team. So just that shows that toughness and just that mental willingness to get after it and do what you have to.
Now listen, we got to give some serious kudos tonight to Jordan Wallman.
Yes.
This crew, we've had the things run hot. What a lot of people don't understand is we've got a computer running hot, and he's brought in all kinds of fans and things of this nature to get us back on the air. Now we got video and audio matching up. Jordan has been working so hard. Yes, it is.
Great job, Jordan.
Jordan Wallman, there we go. He has been the man of the hour. So we've been getting your text messages letting you know you're enjoying it. Well, thank Jordan. So here we go from the 45. Play fake. And Dane will hand off to Upton. He's going to carry to the outside. Stiff arms. Look out. Uptown Upton is free. He's across the 35 down to the 30. And there's Braxton Barr, who knocked him out of bounds.
Well, let me give Braxton Buck some credit here. He tore out from that left guard position and absolutely shielded that blitzing. It was a tackle that was coming down hard, and Upton was barely able to cut off of that. But without that block, he would have been in the backfield. And so, once again, just unsung heroes up front on the offensive line.
Well, and I'm so glad you point that out. And Barry, you always do a great job of keeping an eye on those big guys up front. And this is where the strength of this team is, right? We know it. These three senior offensive linemen, man, they have put in their time, and they love to play up front. Dan Baranek has a wonderful saying. He calls them the Blue Jay Hogs and MOB, making others better. And they really buy into that.
Yeah, they do. They love it. And that's kind of on the football field, that's their identity a little bit.
So here we go. They'll move it back to the 40 after the holding penalty. And so that negates that terrific run and terrific block by Buck. Now they're going to try that little inside reverse to Sabota, and not going anywhere as Lakeview did a good job running him out of bounds. Here comes a late hit, I think, on Lakeview. And this is one without malice. Again, this is a tough one, Barry, because he's kind of made contact inbounds and runs him out of bounds. And yeah, it's always one that you feel a little ambivalent about because it's not like he hit him 10 yards out of bounds.
No, I don't think there was any purposeful malice, like you said, going on. It'd be interesting to see the end zone camera to see where that was, that initial stick. And then to finish a tackle, you're taught to do that. So that's a hard one a little bit. You're wanting to drive the guy out of bounds, and sometimes when your helmet's turned and you can't see, it's like you're just going to stay on him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so they did call it a personal foul, hit out of bounds, but again, I think that started, as Barry said, inbounds as well. So they'll move it up 15 yards. Blue Jays will get a 1st and 10 out of it. Here's this how's this for a compliment? From Tyler Cogswell. He says, Coach Thompson is calling defense the same way that he plays Madden. And he says, thanks for the broadcast, love watching. But I don't do the video games, but I think that's a pretty darn good compliment, isn't it?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, I don't either. The only thing they had when I was growing up was Pong.
I remember that. I can't remember. Pac-Man. 2nd down and 1. Fumbled snap, but Dane picks it up coolly, calmly, steps up, and then he just dumps it. And they're going to say, is that a fumble or an incompletion? His arm was going forward, but he did dump it down, not in a traditional manner. And they are going to come in and call it an incomplete pass. I'm a little surprised grounding wasn't called there.
Yeah, if it was an incomplete pass, then I would say probably the grounding. I agree. I thought the same thing. But I think Lakeview's kind of saying, hey, that one way or the other, that should have been either a penalty or a touchdown the other way.
Well, there's now a timeout on the field with 10:37 to go here in this football game. Blue Jays cruising 28-6, and if you joined us late, the way that Lakeview scored is the Blue Jays actually had a 1st and 10 at their own half-yard line. They ran a sweep to the left side of the field, and Drake Zimmerman got hit, fumbled in the end zone, and Lakeview recovered it. Because at halftime, Barry, the Blue Jays had a 255 total yard advantage to just 46, I believe, of Lakeview.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right, Tim. And it's just really the turnovers, that have hurt us. We have had, a fair amount of penalties. Lakeview's had a few as well. That'll be something that'll be interesting to see after the game where we're at with that. But those are the things that, the holding, not as much as we haven't had a pre-snap penalty, have we?
No.
Which is very unusual for the first game.
Yeah, they have honestly played a pretty clean game, with the exception of those 4 turnovers, which is not clean, but penalty-wise, Julie remembered something there.
Yeah. What did you say, Julie? We did have a motion in the backfield.
That's right.
Yep,
You're right.
We sure did. Good job, Julie.
She's always on it. Here's the swing pass to Spears. Spears got one to miss, and then he's hit and swarmed back at the 50-yard line. So here comes a 4th down for the Big Blue with 10.5 to go.
Talk about an award-winning producer.
Well, that's why she is.
Yes.
She's won 17 Emmys, and we've been on 15 years.
That's amazing. So incredible.
Well, I'll tell you, we could not do it without her, Kayla and Steve. You saw all the value of Jordan tonight. And Aiden Rowley has been terrific helping out. So, great crew tonight. And
yeah, it really is. And I love seeing these students help out and just be passionate about it. They really – it's like a program that Jordan has started that allows them to thrive in this industry.
And here is the pump by Sabota. Will go inside the 15 and be touchdown at the 14-yard line. Tracking that down and touching it down was Cale Smith. There's Cale Smith. And so I thought I saw him in the first half, but for sure we just saw him a moment ago.
Yeah, that's good to see. True freshman.
Yeah.
I guess they're all true freshmen. This isn't college. Sorry.
They removed the red shirt in 67, Barry. So
there's no extra 6th year here or anything like that. No NILs.
No. There is the Texas red shirt, which we've heard about. But
Yes. Oh, my goodness, yeah. I guess that's a real thing.
Yeah. Well, we started Aiden when he was 16 years old in kindergarten. and
Oh, man.
We've got an illegal shift on the play here. And I tell you, too, and I know we touched on it briefly in the first half, but we were having so many problems. Folks, I don't know if the cameras have caught it, but we have a game clock in here, a play clock, I should say. Sideline Power gave that. On the sidelines, they have an electronic, the yard markers, so you know exactly if it's 2 yards or 8 yards. And Matt Starr and Sideline Power, they've donated everything. And I know, Barry, you work out there as well. Cannot say enough thanks. And really how it adds to this atmosphere tonight at Memorial Stadium.
You know, Matt does an incredible job. He's an alum. He actually, in the office today, had his middle school football jersey on, and he looked phenomenal. Number 1, it said Star on the back. I was like, you had names on your jerseys in middle school? And Matt is a humble guy. He doesn't want a lot of attention, but he loves the Blue Jays.
And here's some pressure as Lambert gets in there, but the first to make contact might be Ham. And that Jackson, yes it was. And so a loss, and here comes 2nd and long. And we've got a player down. And that is Turnus right now. He has been very physical tonight, and he's being attended to on the field right now.
Well, I tell you, he has been down a couple of times, and he has given everything he has to this game. And he plays so physical, as you said, and just, once again, plays with all heart.
You know, that's the one thing with Coach Friends, and you have to have this, as you heard Dustin Dietering say at halftime. And I said, you know, looking at both of these programs, Dustin, our athletic director, you know, you have to have that culture, and both of these teams embody it. Frenzen's been so successful. Of course, Coach Thompson has too. And, man, these guys just play with grittiness, and you have to appreciate that. You know, they're down 28-6, and yet they are playing gritty and tough.
Yeah, boy, I hope he's okay. He's limping off, and so we just really hope that turns out okay.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a big, you know, career coming up in wrestling too, and of course he's going to contribute on the football field. And so they will tend to him, and you know, we give him our best wishes.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim.
So here comes the Vikings back at they have a 2nd and long after that play. They're all the way back to their 11-yard line. As the clock will continue to run here, Blue Jays up 28-6 with 9:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Slope, pistol set. He's going to hand the ball off, and they're going to run right at that interior line. The Blue Jays finally get him and turn him back. Leighton West got in there and a few others. And so here comes a 3rd down and 9.
Well, the Blue Jay defense is still, for the most part, our starters. So, you know, I think we just feel like we've got to execute to the point of where Coach Thompson feels satisfied that, they're playing really, really well as a unit. It seems like they have been, but, there's some things that he's obviously seeing that he's keeping those guys in and getting reps and making sure that that endurance starts coming in game 2 and game 3.
Tobin Engelhart, by the way, got in there and got Bargan on this 3rd down and 9 for the Vikings. They're not done. Slope will move Bargan back to his left. Now we got a whistle, and I think a timeout's upcoming. As Slope will come over and talk to his coaches. They didn't like what they saw, so they're going to have a little chat with their quarterback. And again, Julie on top of it here is saying that the play clock, and I've got to get used to looking at that, Barry. I didn't even see it, but Julie said it was just about down to 0. The coaches called that timeout.
Yeah, it was. So the players were actually pointing at the play clock, and that's something different than they've ever been. We've never had a play clock here. So for the players to see that kind of brings me joy, because I was out on this field this week, kind of just we were kind of helping just encourage them to install it the way they did. I mean, we didn't have anything to do with that. But once again, going back to Matt Starr, that's a big deal to have these play clocks in Class C1. The way they are just popping tonight, it's just such a cool thing. And, Matt, I know he just shares the love with the Blue Jay faithful by helping with equipment and gets that equipment to us as much of a discount as he possibly can. Doesn't make any money off of it. That's just who he is.
Well, I love him, and we've got a guest up here. We'll talk about him in a second here after this timeout. We've got a 3rd down and 9, and here's a play fake. The ball popped up in the air, deflected and incomplete, and that might have been Jackson Ham the Hammer who got his hands up as Hunter Houdini came up in the booth tonight.
The Houdini, yes. I tell you, he could escape bad situations, and he would just squeeze through them and get out and make a big gain.
Watching him and the Pinball Wizard and Ludwig and all those guys, Seth, I could go through that. JB, they were so much fun in that season. Well, boy, they had to play a lot for 3 years, didn't they?
They did. Yeah, they got indoctrinated quickly.
Yes, they did. So here comes the punt for Lakeview, and it's a end over end, and it takes a huge Lakeview roll. Across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. They'll touch it down. Barry, since we're talking about this and we're talking about play clocks, I mean, and you work in this industry, how far out are we before you think this will become the norm? Are we still a long ways away, or?
You see it. You just see it going from Class A. Everybody in A has it. Class B, almost everybody. Now you've gotten into some C1s, and so it's hitting C1s, and it's gonna go down. It's gonna go all the way down, I believe, just like the shot clock will.
In basketball?
In basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I welcome that. I think that'll be great. Not sure what Coach Mose thinks about it, but I'm a proponent of it. So here we go, Blue Jays after the punt, 1st and 10 at their own 39. Here comes Upton. And he'll weave himself around there, across the 45, down to the 49. And he'll get close to 10. Tell me about the different styles, too, Barry, you see between Upton and Zimmerman.
Upton, he is probably a little bit more patient, and then he's just going to, he's going to continue to follow his blockers, but he wants to get downhill. He's more, patient blocker, and then he'll go straight ahead. Zimmerman's a slasher, where he will slash, he's patient, and then he just will burst. Zimmerman doesn't usually get as many carries, so he's a little more fresh, and he just has that fresh burst. And so, I feel like Upton carries the mail, and then Zimmerman just comes in and gets it done as well.
Well, here comes Jacobson's going to throw it out there to the man-eater, Sabota. He's across the 50 down to the 45. And this is what Dane Jacobson can do. And that is a tough pass, Barry, throwing against your body, going the opposite way. And Owen Bargan on the stop, by the way.
Yeah, Jacobson, once again, has really picked up where he left off last year. He can throw against the grain, as you said. He's got they're two different styles. He's not Houdini, and Houdini's not Dane. They have totally different styles, but they both elude the rush, and so it's interesting. It's just fun to see these quarterbacks be able to do this in high school.
Oh, it is. And, boy, we haven't even talked about quarterbacks yet. Now, here we go, power football again. This is going to be Nate Upton. He'll get a short gain. And the reason I say that is last Friday night, I know you and I were very impressed. You got Dane as a junior. There's a freshman coming up named Derek Tonjes. Look, there's Landon Mose, who's a freshman. Thomas Spears can play quarterback. I mean, this is a program that looks really good at quarterback for the next 4 years.
Yeah, it does. And guys they really want to step up to the challenge of doing that. And, we've had some good quarterbacks even in between. Cale got hurt last year. That's very well documented. Then Nick Carroll got hurt, and Dane, that's how he got his shot. You just never know. So it's like these guys all have to be ready for the next play.
Yeah, and Brendan Slope, by the way, made that last tackle. Here's a counter for the first time tonight. And look at Upton just tear through people, continues to carry men all the way inside the 30. And another 1st and 10 for the Big Blue with 5:54 to go here in the game.
Tell you, Upton looks like he's completely fresh, like the Energizer Bunny. The linemen, they are getting worn down a little bit. They look like they are weary and they are dripping in sweat out there. It's kind of fun to see how they're just working, and they look like the Hogs that they're called, right?
Oh, they love that. They wear that with pride, that name. And
yeah, that's a good thing. That's an honor for them, right?
Oh, they love it. Yeah, and they go by MOB, which we mentioned earlier, which is making others better. And now they're going to swing it out complete to Colton Cerveny on a bubble screen. Here comes Colton, across the 20. And he's brought down from behind by Halverson, but he'll pick up good yardage, about 8 or 9, and here comes the 2nd and short.
One of the concerns, they lost a lot out of the wide receiving crew last year. They lost a lot of defensive back strength. They lost a lot, certainly with all those seniors, but those were concerns. They didn't really know. I don't know that we've been tested in the throwing defensive backfield as much tonight. But we can see we've got some receivers that can really haul in the ball here. So that's certainly a bonus.
And Austin Cote is going to check in at running back behind Jacobson. Let's see if he gets a carry. He does. And the junior. Oh, what a face mask. I should say a stiff arm. I think he got some face masks too in there. But that was power, and Turner Halverson brought him down.
Yeah, Cote, once again, he's worked hard. He's got some nice speed. They've got some good running backs. They've got some depth here on our team. So, once again, when you have an O-line like we do, it's going to protect those running backs a little bit.
Coach is doing a good job, just kind of taking their time. We're down to 15 seconds on the play clock. As Ty Carey will come in from the sideline. You've got Cerveny in there, as well as Carson on the far sideline. Carey will be the tight end on the right side. Lakeview does some shuffling around here, and on 1st and 10, they try to run counter, and that is a broken play as the running back ran into Jacobson. That was Upton, and so those are those early season glitches, right, that you see?
They are. Paths, it's hard to be exactly on your path. And if the timing's off at all, Tim, it can just really mess up the play. But you can see the veteran just the ability of these guys, because they've played so much, they can turn a broken play into a positive play. So that's pretty big.
Boy, it is. That's talent right there. And so here goes Sabot in the H-back position. You got Upton in that pistol set behind Dane. They're going to pitch. And Upton's just going to carry the mail on the far sideline. And just again, Barry, to your point, did he get in here? Is he fighting? I saw Landon Sabota put his hands up, but no. He is going to be short. But, to your point, Barry, so patient, isn't he? He just kind of watches those blockers in front of him.
Yeah, and it almost looked like the ball was on the ground there, and that Thomas Spears might have. Is that what you saw there?
I better get my binoculars back out here. Yep, that's right. Brad Carlson just called it. It was a fumble. That is the 6th fumble of the night for the Blue Jays. They have lost 4. So that is something. I have a feeling if you walk down the hallway at Ashland-Greenwood High School next week, a lot of guys are going to be toting around a football all day long.
Yes, they are. They're going to be sleeping with them.
Here we go, 3rd down, less than a yard. Here's Sabota on the give. Sabota's hit. He's wrapped up, but look at him carry guys. And I think he'll get that 1st and 10, 1st and goal.
Yeah, just a fullback trap, trying to pull the guard, get that defensive tackle knocked out of there. It's pretty bunched up in there. That's tough yardage.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have Ben Harrison there. They've got Landon Sabota, Braxton Buck. These are the offensive linemen. linemen, and then, of course, you've got Lambert and Jackson Ham. So those are the guys that started the game. They're still in with 2:32 to go. Blue Jays up 28-6. And on this first and goal from the 3, ball on the left hash. See what Dane does out of the pistol set. He's going to give it. No, he's not going to give it. He's going to carry it, and he high steps in.
He high steps in with that ball like you don't like it, Julie, but I tell you, he's got a grip on that ball. He did a nice job. He deserves that touchdown. He has really steered the ship tonight, been the captain out there, and done a nice job.
You know, one of the things, and of course his mother, Stacy, loves to say he's not fast. And that's not true, and I always tell her that. One, we see it on the field, he's game fast. But on the flying tens this year, when they did the measurements, he had one of the faster times. He was right down there with those running backs. Just a hair slower, but in the ballpark. And so he can really motor.
Yeah, he can. You can tell he's even gotten more physically mature here in the last year, and he's a fine-looking athlete.
Here is the point after by Alexander, who is now tonight 5 of 5, booting it through. We might have us another kicker here buried Ashland-Greenwood.
Well, there is no doubt he's looking good. And so, yeah, it's exciting. The tradition continues. And I don't know. Julie, what do you think?
He had a trouble with the segue out of that.
Yeah,
Here's a
exactly.
segue for you. Talking about tradition continuing. I know Lakeview would love to see it. Hey, what a story a year ago. They start out 1-2. Yeah. They go into the playoffs after winning 10 in a row as the 11 seed. They played an absolutely butcher's row of opposition from Kearney Catholic. Of course, they beat Pierce in the finals, who beat us in a thriller. I mean, what a season they had. First state championship ever, first time in the state championship in football in 31 years. I mean, what a story that they put together a year ago.
Yeah, and if you know Coach Frenzen and their staff, they are just, you're happy for them because they're quality coaches. They do it the right way. Coach Bargan has told me story after story of how he'll bring in coaches and give them a job and just, you know, allow them to thrive in a job on their staff that they do very well at. And he's a really unselfish guy, and that's why he does it well, because he allows his coaches to coach.
Man, it's funny when you look at these two staffs we talked about on a parallel route they are, Ashland-Greenwood and Lakeview. And here's a short boot, intentionally done so by Alexander that time. And there's a big tackle there by the Blue Jays. I think that was Keldon Van Lanningham, who's having a pretty good night on special teams. But, you know, it's so funny how, again, they mirror each other, too. You know, they have the same beliefs, the same values, and subsequently these programs have been pretty darn good over the last 9-10 years.
They have, you know, to the point of Coach Thompson, when there was an Ashland-Greenwood football clinic this year, he invited Coach Frenzen to be one of the big speakers. And so that just tells you how the admiration for each other. And so it's just good to see that and not, you know, truly have coaches that are not liking each other, not getting along, things like that.
So here we go with 2:14 to go. They keep Slope in there. They're going to pitch out here now to a new running back in the game, and he's going to get 4 or 5 yards. And there it is, Derek Line, who got his first carry of the night. We're under 2 minutes to go, and the Blue Jays are going to go to 1-0 this year. Lakeview will drop their opener. Jaden Wilsey comes up and makes the stop. So here comes the 2nd down and 5 from the 40. Clock continuing to tick, and they'll try sweep this time. This is Cullum, and Cullum will get out to around the 45-yard line.
So, Tim, we talked about this last year a lot. The last couple years, the backups get a lot of playing time on Friday night at this point in the game. This is so valuable for later in the season for quality reps.
And Garrett Turner, the sophomore, gets his first tackle of the season. So here we go on 3rd and a short yard. And this is going to be a 1st and 10. Nice tackle, I think, in there by Garrett Turner again.
Good for Garrett. Looks like, a lot of the younger guys are in there. Aiden Washburn's going out. He had some reps there.
Well, I got to tell you, Garrett Turner, and I think I told you this last week, he was a catcher of mine in baseball, and just your classic catcher. He loved dirt. Loved to get dirty. He didn't mind if it was 100 degrees out. He would catch it. Whoa, there's a tackle from behind. Who came up with that one? That was the Blue Jays' Ethan Judy, who wrapped him up a little high but got him down pretty quickly.
Yeah, he did. He wrangled him down like a bull, didn't he?
He did. A little cowboy rodeo there. We're under 35 seconds. Barry, give me a quick prediction tomorrow in Ireland, Dublin.
Looking at Northwestern last year, looking at us, I just feel like we're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
All right.
What about you?
You sound like Bob Devaney on his Friday night show. He'd say, they're going to win by 1 touchdown. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
I'm old school, Tim.
Well, there's a timeout on the field, 24 seconds to go. Blue Jays up 35-6. By the way, we'll be in Wahoo next week. And I'm not sure your availability.
I'm going to be in Ohio.
That's right.
So I'm going to go for their opener.
Now, they don't play Penn State at home, do they?
They play Penn State in 2 weeks. I may be gone for that, too. It's at Penn State, so I don't want to pass that up. But they play at home against Florida Atlantic. And so that Willie Taggart is now coaching there, so that'll be kind of fun.
And, folks, if you're wondering why, if you don't know the Barry's son here, just about his youngest son, Barrett's his youngest, but the pinball wizard, Bryce Kittrell, is playing football out at Ohio U, and I understand he might be playing a little I-back now. A little halfback?
He's playing running back,
yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Went out there as a safety, and now he got switched this year, so that'll be fun. And they play Florida Atlantic next week, so it'll be Jordan and I on the call. But here comes Cullum. He'll try the left side, and a couple of Blue Jays giving chase and bringing him down. And again was Garrett Turner, who's just on fire defensively tonight.
He likes dirt, all right. He is just getting all dirty.
Blue Jays having trouble getting off the field, and here comes the pass down deep late in the game, off the helmet of the wideout. I think maybe a light might have gotten his eyes that time, because those lights can, if you look right up into him, and it just went off his face mask. And so here comes now a second down with 7 seconds to go in the football game.
The receiver actually there did a pretty good job of separating and was in the right place, and just like you said, I bet the light got in his eye.
And by the way, folks, we will be on audio next week, agbluejays.com. Obviously, Wahoo has the Stride broadcast. We'll be on agbluejays.com. So hope to see you next Friday night as that Saunders County rivalry will take place again. And here we go, probably the last play of the game as they throw to the near sideline, a little underthrown, but then almost caught on the deflection. Not sure who the defender was down there, but some good coverage down deep. And the Blue Jays get win number 1 as they win 35-6 against the defending state champion. Is Jarek Nolan that time. Almost had the pick. But a very, very nice, solid win for the Blue Jays against a well-coached Columbus Lakeview team. And Barry, give me your first thoughts here after this W.
Well, I mean, Tim, I honestly, considering that we turned the ball over several times, we had lots of fumbles on the ground, we had several penalties. Gosh, we came out really, really well. I would say it's a huge positive. Lakeview's a great program. I would say they're going to improve a ton during the season, but Ashland-Greenwood's rolling. Well,
and you know that too. Coach, this is a great, great coaching staff at Columbus Lakeview. And week 7, 8, 9, this team is just going to get stronger and stronger. And for the Blue Jays, everything you thought, right, up front, everyone says, hey, the strength is up front. What was your impression of the Blue Jays O-line? And then I'll ask you about the D-line as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Our offensive line really paved the way for those running backs to get some good yardage. I mean, we had a lot of yards on the ground. They did a great job, pass protecting as well. And then on the defensive line, we got pressure on them. And in the second half, it was just completely a dominant performance by that D-line.
I don't know how many sacks Lambert had, but, man, what impressed me so much about what I saw from him is just his burst.
Yeah.
When he did bust through, it seemed like, look out. He has got a serious burst.
Absolutely. No, he does, and there's several young men along that line that, you're going to see, I think, throughout the season.
Well, it looks like Jordan has a victorious coach, Coach Ryan Thompson, with the win over Columbus Lakeview. Jordan, take it away.
Coach, great statement to start the season off against a great team, returning a lot of starters, including a great running back. What did you guys do tonight that really allowed you to find success?
The first game is always the unknown, what the other team's going to do. So we really tried our best to just kind of prepare for a base operations, do our job right, align right, do our responsibilities, and I think our kids did that. I think we knew what we kind of had coming in, but now it's kind of proven that we do kind of have some good potential here. Clean some few things up and we'll be okay.
Coach, a lot of seniors coming back. You guys lost some seniors in the previous year, but kind of in that first game, in the first couple weeks of practice, you see maybe some younger kids stepping up. On top of those great senior class, who were some younger kids that kind of got it done tonight?
Well, I think number one, look at our special teams. We put a lot of trust in those guys. We put a lot of pressure on Coach Bronick to try to get some rest for our two-way starters. So, that's huge if we can trust some of the younger guys to come in, get some minutes, and they don't even know that that's valuable for them. They're just out there having fun, doing their job. So that number one, our special teams did a great job. Austin Cote, before he came in and held his own, did a great job. I'm trying to think. I'm a team guy. I'm trying to think of some guys. I'm really pleased with our overall effort. The bumps in the road, that's fine. We can fix that stuff. We definitely have to hold on to the ball as we move forward. But we got guys that aren't going to quit. And they trust each other. They play with heart, and that's what we need.
Obviously, as an O-line coach of the middle school team formerly, you guys got common ground and you guys stopped that rushing attack tonight. What do you have to say about the big boys up front controlling that line?
I think they kind of wanted to make a statement. They've really worked hard with some of the new stuff we're doing. And I really think they wanted to come out and prove themselves on the quality coach team, a quality team like we played tonight in Lakeview. Lakeview's going to go on and win some games. They're going to do really well. Hopefully we both get an opportunity to see each other again if our seasons go well. But long story is those guys, we've been relying on them all summer, and they proved it tonight.
Coach T always has a special shout-out he wants to give. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to say, but I know you got that special shout-out.
One of them's running around on the field right now, so she won't hear me. Amy's at home. She might have fell asleep. She's been working all week at the hospital early hours, so love them both. They've seen me stressed a little bit this week, so as usual, but they keep them pretty calm and pretty grounded, so it'll be a fun weekend with them.
Well, not too much to stress about, obviously. You guys played very well, but congrats on a big win, Coach T. Statement win, first game of the season. Tim and Barry, we're going to find some players real quick, but until then, back up to you guys.
You got it, Jordan. We've got Dan Baronic, the assistant coach here, the line coach, and we'll do an interview with him. You round those players up. Dan, hey, how cool is this? See, I'm an old guy, and this theme song here from Top Gun was big when I was a kid, and all of a sudden it's become popular again. It's gotta be for you. You're like, what is this, right?
Oh, I've seen the movie a few times. I'm familiar.
Right. Okay. Hey, we gave you a lot of love on the air tonight, Coach, because your team up front was terrific, that offensive line. And we talked about how they've really embellished or embodied this whole Blue Jay Hogs and MOB. Which stands for, of course, making others better.
Right.
So we can talk about your team, and we will, your players up front, but let's talk about that culture you're defining for these guys up front.
It was a few years ago. I started coaching offensive line, and we wanted to build something that, made it cool to be a lineman. And, so I kind of ran some stuff by Coach Thompson, and then Coach Jensen came on board, and he bought in right away. And, between the two of us, I think we worked really well together with getting those guys going. And, it was just a lot of explaining and, help making those guys feel good about what we were doing. And, it's just something little, but, they love the Hog of the Week. They're going to be real disappointed because I forgot our flag, so we're not getting a hog picture this week. I had to go tell one of them that I forgot, and they were not happy with me. But, it's something little, but it's something for them because we get plenty of recognition. Our running backs and quarterback and all those guys, every time they talk to someone, they always brag about the line, and so we are not neglected by any means, but just something special for those guys to buy into, and they've done a great job. Just knowing that their job is to never score a touchdown and to never touch the ball most of the time, and and just take a lot of pride in the work that they do. And, they bought in and they're awesome about it. They love it.
I love it. Well, let's talk about your offensive linemen tonight. Give me your assessment of how they play.
Honestly, without watching any film, I thought we looked really good. We're doing some different stuff, and that sometimes can make it a little bit iffy going into game one. But they've practiced really, really hard, and they were doing stuff in the off season, and they were ready to go tonight, and it was great to see. I feel like we might have had a few flags thrown on us that I might have to go back and watch film to see how well earned they were. But I thought we did a great job of just executing and giving. They weren't always the biggest holes, but there were some holes there, and our running backs did a great job of finding them and filling them, and we were earning some tough yards. It was great to see.
Oh, yes, it was, and it's also great. When you have a running back like Zimmerman, and then you have a running back like Upton, they have different styles. Do your linemen even know who's back behind them there? I mean, they're going to just execute the way they're going to execute no matter who's back there, right?
They might know if they turn around, but for them, their job doesn't really change much. Their job's to make a hole somewhere, and they just trust that the running backs are going to find it and go through it.
All right, well, I tell you what, I think Jordan has some of your big guys up front, but, hey, you got Wahoo next week. Give us a quick thoughts on that.
It's Wahoo. They're always a well-coached team. They always, it's always going to be a good game. We'll go out there and give it our best shot, and hopefully we come out with another win. I do got to give a shout-out. I don't know if they're listening.
Please do.
I'm sure the boys are sleeping, but Amanda, if you're still awake, love you. Bo, Baker, Barron, I hope you're asleep. Love you guys too. And quick note. I had to tell Tonjes that I was taking this one because he took them all last year, and I said, no, I got this one. I'm taking this one.
Hey, that is perfect. We want you guys fighting over this post-game interview. Hey, listen,
thanks a lot.
Great win tonight.
Thank you.
And they're looking great up front. Coach
Thank
Dan
you.
Baranek, who coaches that O-line, and they were awfully good. So, listen, we're going to go down now to Jordan Wallman, who's got a couple of those big boys that we were just talking to Coach Baranek about. Jordan, who do you have down there? Well, listen, we're going to let that happen, but why don't we do the stats here, Jordan? As Barry's got the stats, we'll come back down to you.
All right, so if we want to just finalize the stats here, Tim, Ashland-Greenwood for the game, and once again, Kayla Lonnie did these stats, and we appreciate that so much. 37 carries, 258 yards, 13 of 16 through the air for 100. We had 370 for the night. And then Lakeview, 30 carries for 76 yards. They were 2 of 12 through the air for 4 yards. They had 80 total yards, so we were 370 to 80, which is a humongous advantage for the Blue Jays. Now, on the turnovers, that would be something we want to. We had 6 balls on the ground, as you had said. We lost 4 fumbles, Tim, tonight. We had 5 penalties for 45 yards. And then we earned 18 first downs. So we had quite a few turnovers. 4. We had 5 penalties, which isn't an overabundance because we didn't have any. We only had 1 pre-snap penalty. And then Lakeview they had 1 ball on the ground, no balls lost. They did throw the interception. Dane Jacobson got that, and then they only had 2 penalties. So pretty substantial difference as far as we actually turned the ball over quite a few more times, had a lot more penalties, but we still came out victorious. So that's pretty amazing. I don't know if you want to hear any individual stats yet.
No, go for it. You bet, bud.
So Dane Jacobson, it looks like he was 12 attempts for 75 yards. Yep. And then we had leading the really the receivers were very even. Thomas Spears, Logan Sabota, they were all in there. Carson had the one nice catch for 29 yards. And then rushing the ball, Nate Upton had 24 carries for 151 yards. And then Drake Zimmerman had 3 carries for 93 yards. So pretty amazing stats from individual and team stats. Great job, Blue Jays.
All right.
Thanks, Kayla.
Here's what we're going to do. We've got some players down there. So, Jordan, I'll tell you what, if you are ready, we're going to take it away. Take it away, partner.
But the boys really talked about the communication tonight and really setting the tone early with that first drive. So Buck, what were you guys doing tonight that really allowed you to get it done?
We're just making sure that we all knew our jobs going in and executing them at a high level, just making sure staying on the double teams and working to that linebacker at the end.
So Luke, this is a special game for him. Running back was the key tonight, Turnus, and you guys had a couple duels in wrestling, kind of got after a little bit, but man, I'll tell you, Luke, you were on fire tonight. What did you think on the defensive end as well as the offensive end? What was your mentality going into this game?
I think as a team, our intensity was pretty high tonight. I mean, we're all fired up first game. And yeah, Turnus had beat me twice in wrestling last season, my junior year. So yeah, that's a little more intensity, I guess, in the back of my mind every play.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, these are two guys that we love. We love having fun with them, especially after a win. Buck, I'm going to give you a 7.5 out of 10 on your interview. That was great. Luke, I'm going to give you a 7.2. So, Luke, anything you want to say about my rating? Are you upset with me? Are you going to try to get me on a pancake block?
You have to pay attention next week in the hallway, I guess.
No, but two of the best kids. They had a great night. All right, Buck's got one more thing to say, so this should be good.
Oh, hey, Grandma Jean. I know that you're at home watching the game for sure, so just want to say love ya. All right.
Wow, you are now a 9 out of 10. Oh, for the two hogs, these two big guys leading the way for things. I was trying to get at Danny Jacobson, but he's spending some good time with his big brother Kale. We want to honor that. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it. Tim and Barry, back to you guys.
Jordan, great job. We love to hear the linemen, Buck and Lambert. And so thank you guys so much. We're going to wrap it up. It's an emphatic win for the Blue Jays tonight over the former state champ from last year. The Blue Jays are on a roll. They go to Wahoo next week. And so we will tune in to the AG broadcasting. We're only going to be on the radio. We're not going to be able to do Strive. Wahoo's doing Strive. So if you want to tune in, please tune in on the network, the Blue Jay Network. And thank you. Have a great night.
Trent and Megan came, but I don't see them.